actually need, not want. So the bare basics, sometimes that's all you really need. You need a mattress, obviously, we all do. Some pillows, I personally think one is fine. Some people need two. That's your preference. But just, again, stick with the basics. Do not go all out with furniture. If you do not need a coffee table, then do not buy it right now. If you do not need nightstands right now, then don't. Do not waste your money on furniture you do not need. I have done that in the past. I've learned a valuable lesson. I've went through like 5 to 6 desks and to finally realize that I don't really need a desk. Try your best to stick with the basics when it comes to furniture. A table to eat on, a mattress. Obviously, if you want to put the mattress up, a bed frame and a headboard. Half the time you don't even need the headboard. You can just deal with the bed frame. I wish I would have kept it simple, a little bit more simple. When I lived at my first apartment, I ended up buying a couch, which at the end of the day, I didn't really need a couch because I was never home. I was constantly working, and when I came home, I would take a shower and go straight to my bedroom. It was very rare that I sat on the couch, and I never had guests over, so I could have saved myself the $600 and kept the living room empty for a while. I know that's not ideal for some people, but what I'm trying to tell you guys is you do not need everything that an apartment is supposed to have. You just need the bare basics for you. Kitchen appliances you're going to actually use. So the same thing with the furniture. Try not to go overboard with kitchen gadgets. I ended up purchasing a toaster, never used it, wasted $20, had to get rid of it because everybody told me you're gonna need a toaster. When in reality, you can toast your bread on the stovetop with just a regular pan instead of purchasing an additional appliance for your kitchen. It's gonna save you storage and money, and I guarantee you guys, when it comes to your first apartment and when you decide to move out, whether it's to a new apartment, whether it's with your significant other, I guarantee you 95% of the things that you own, you will not want to bring with you to your new place. So that's why I'm always telling you guys to keep it basic when it comes to your first apartment. Do not go all out. Stay off Pinterest also. That's kind of where I overdid it, was Pinterest and magazines, especially the like the interior design magazines. I wanted my place to look cozy and like an Instagram post. And I'm glad I didn't go too crazy overboard, but there were quite a few things that I didn't really need that I got sucked into buying. So your basic kitchen appliances, obviously if your apartment doesn't come with a fridge, you're gonna need a fridge, a stove, you're gonna need a microwave is sometimes questionable. Some people don't need a microwave. Some people do, but try to do your own research on what you really need when it comes to kitchen gadgets. If you're not that type of person to feel like you're gonna have time to cook a full meal, then you don't need a lot of kitchen items. It's as simple as that. Keep it simple with cleaning supplies. This is something that I never overdid, and I'm glad I didn't, because it's fairly easy to go overboard with cleaning supplies, because when you go into Target, Walmart, they will try to sell you a cleaner for the corner of your walls, or a wall cleaner in general, carpet cleaner, floor cleaner, 5 different floor cleaners. It can get very overwhelming, so try to stick with the bare basics when it comes to cleaners. I think the best investment when it comes to cleaning is a steam mop. It is a little pricey, but it is so worth it. 1, they're reusable. 2, all you need is water in the steam mop. And 3, it's an easy cleanup. I have owned my steam mop for, I want to say, almost 4 years now, and it was the best thing I've ever purchased. Again, it is pricey, but it's worth it. I used to have, what was it, my first apartment? I used to have the Bonna mop, and that was also reusable, but it wasn't as good as my steam mop. Steam mop it is. It saves time and money. So I think that's one of the best items that you can purchase for cleaning. You can keep it very basic with a steam mop. Also, invest in a good vacuum. I used to use a handheld vacuum around the entire house, and the amount of lower back pain that I've had was insane. So invest in a decent vacuum. Shark is good. Dyson is great. Dyson is pricey, but they are good as well. So instead of spending your money on a ton of cleaners, focus on quality over quantity, basically what I'm trying to say. Also, don't be afraid to DIY certain cleaners. I will say my glass cleaner DIY, I do half water, a couple tablespoons of vinegar. I've been doing this method for years, since I was in my early 20s, and I'm never letting that little recipe go. And the best thing about the window cleaner is that it's not toxic. You can use it around pets, you can use it around kids. It's not going to make the house smell bad either. The vinegar smell goes away within less than 3 minutes, and it costs you literally nothing to make. So again, sit down with yourself and figure out what cleaners do you really need and what you don't need. I'm never going to let this go, and that is invest in a bidet. I think this is a great apartment essential, an essential that I wish I would have had back then, because you save money on toilet paper, and number two, you have better hygiene. Pretty self-explanatory. They're very, very inexpensive. The bidet we have hooks up right to the toilet. It costs less than $30. I'll have it linked down below, but again, figure out which one works for you. You do not have to buy that one. But I have no complaints with owning a bidet. We have saved so much freaking money when it comes to toilet paper. And like I said, our hygiene is so much better. Waiting on getting a pet. I know when you get your first apartment, and if the landlord accepts pets, you probably want to go all out. A fish, a cat, a dog. You don't want to be alone, right? Wait on that feeling. I am so grateful that my old landlord was like against having pets in the unit. Because I kid you not, you guys, if she would have allowed it, I would have had like 5 to 6 cats, and I would have overdid it. And this is not your forever home. You will move eventually. And the place you move next, you don't know if they're going to accept pets or not. So try your best to chill out when it comes to adopting a pet. I'm very, very grateful that I waited a long, long time to adopt a pet, because they are technically another child. They are pricey, especially what I've been through with my cats. He's had a lot of health problems, and it costs us a lot of money. So try your best to prepare yourself for the future when it comes to getting a pet, if that's what you want. Just don't focus on getting a pet for your first apartment. I know it can be lonely sometimes, but that loneliness will go away. You'll get into your own routine eventually. Don't forget to simplify your decor. This is something that I overdid completely. You can go back to my old videos and see how I overdid this. I had about 72 plants in my apartment. That was my type of decor. And I overdid it. It was very expensive to keep up with all those plants. I had a huge green thumb, and I still do till this day, but I only own one plant right now because we do live in a very dark apartment, and I have a kitty. So the whole plant situation, it just wasn't ideal anymore. And when I decided to move out, I had to find homes for all of those plants, and that was like the hardest thing to get rid of. Not because I was attached to the plants, but because no one wanted the plants. I didn't know who to give them to because nobody wanted them. So it took a lot of time when it came to like finding people that wanted plants when I moved out. So I know that's not the case for you guys, but think of it in your scenario. If you like decor items and you over purchase, that you buy a vase and then another vase to go next to each other to make it very aesthetic, and then you purchase things for the wall, stuff like that. Think of you moving out. Are you going to take this stuff with you, or are you going to switch up your decor in the next year or two? Because if you decide to change your style, who are you going to give this stuff to? It's going to be a hassle when it comes to moving, and also a hassle when it comes to your bank account. Decor items are not cheap, so be mindful when it comes to decorating your house. In this apartment, this is my 3rd apartment, and I don't decorate it. I mean, yes, I am a minimalist, but even if I wasn't a minimalist, I wouldn't decorate this place, because I know eventually we will move, and it's just not worth putting holes in the wall to hang a picture, and then when we move, taking the picture down and try to seal up those holes, repaint. Like, no, I'm not doing all that. Another thing you should invest in when it comes to your first apartment with the kitchen is decent containers for vegetables and fruit. So if you're that type of person to cook, try to find containers that will last and that are durable enough so you're not wasting your money on constantly buying Tupperware and certain containers because they either get stained or they don't last. Try to find stain resistant, dishwasher friendly if you have a dishwasher. I know not all apartments come with dishwashers. This is the first time in my life that I've ever had a dishwasher. Very fancy to me still. Try to keep in mind when it comes to a durable, heavy quality food storage. Not only can it save you money with food waste because it's keeping your vegetables and fruits it's storing them for longer, but it can also save you money in the long run when it comes to not constantly replacing those little storage containers. I will link down below the ones that I have. They are absolutely wonderful. They're inexpensive. I've gone through so many food containers to realize that not all containers are the same when it comes to quality. So I learned my lesson with that. And I'm happy that I finally found the right containers that work really well when it comes to washing them and when it comes to storing our food. Our grapes last literally like 3 weeks without any mold or anything like that. It's incredible what high quality food containers can do compared to like the cheaper ones. And a little reminder, this is just for those that are willing to cook and they go grocery shopping, buy fresh produce. If you are not into that and you decide to eat out or eat at your job, if you work in a restaurant and stuff and you get free food, do not bother with the containers. Only buy what you need. I cannot stress that enough. The last thing could be a little bit biased, but I'm gonna mention it anyways, and that is a projector over a TV any day. If you are that type of person that loves entertainment, you love to kick back in your own place and watch shows, whether it's Netflix, Hulu, whatever it is, I think a projector is far more easier to set up than having a TV. Again, we can go back to the whole hanging a picture on the wall. When it comes to having a TV, you're gonna wanna mount it to the wall, or you're gonna have to buy a TV stand, which is more money to spend. So the best thing that we ever did, like we've never owned TVs. I mean, when we were younger, our parents did. But my partner and I, with moving out to our first apartment and then obviously now in our third apartment, we've never owned a TV. We've always been like anti-TVs because they're just so bulky, they take up so much space, and you have to replace them every now and then. The projector we have, it is pricey, I am not gonna lie. It is one of the most expensive items we have purchased for this place, but we haven't had any problems, knock on wood. We haven't had any problems with it. We haven't replaced the bulb. We use it every night. We don't watch things during the day because we're always working. So nighttime is when we watch things, and I just love it. I love how with a projector, you're in control when it comes to where you put it. You are in control when it comes to the size. With TVs, sometimes you have to put it where there's an outlet. And unfortunately, some walls don't have outlets in your place, so you are forced to put it in an awkward spot in your apartment. But when it comes to having a projector, you can plug it in literally anywhere and you project it onto the wall. We do not have a screen, it just goes straight onto the wall. I love that you can, again, change the size. If you want it smaller, you can bring the projector closer and have a smaller little frame to watch. Or if you want to watch something gigantic, you can bring the projector back and watch something huge. It could take up the entire wall. So with a TV, you can't do that. If you buy a 60-inch TV, then you are stuck with the 60-inch size until you upgrade. If you bought a 32-inch TV, same scenario. The best thing to purchase is a projector. Again, you do not have to purchase the one that I have, but they do have other brands. They have cheaper versions. You don't have to buy this one. It all depends on what you're going for. And I think the best thing also about having a projector is when it's moving time. So when it's time to move, you don't have to have two people carrying a giant TV. You don't need anybody. You don't need to like wrap it up in bubble wrap and pack it. You just carry the projector. I kid you not, our projector is like this size. You just carry it and bring it to the new place. It is so simple. Anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you would like more videos like this, and I will catch you in the next one.